Hello and welcome to Let's Crack NEET UG English. I'm Neela Bakore, your biology teacher, and we have reached to the last segment of this particular chapter, that is cell cycle and cell division. Now, before we talk about the last part, and I have also planned a short quiz type of a thing for you, where I have certain questions which I'll be sharing with you very soon, and we will try to answer those questions. And this will help us understand whether that concept that we have studied over last few lectures, whether that is clear or not. The questions which I have selected, there are certain questions which I have designed for you, and I have also picked few questions which were asked in previous year NEET exam. So now what happens is, if you are able to answer the questions which were asked in previous year NEET, that gives you an immense confidence, because similar type of question, similar type of framing is normally done, and that is why we need to practice the previous year questions. So this is what I have planned for today. The last part, few doubts in case if you have, and then we will have a short quiz session. So before we get started, let me just check for the audio and everything. Karthik and Dhruv, thank you so much. Good morning, Ankita. Okay, is the audio absolutely clear? If yes, then we can. Yes, ma'am, all clear. Good. So we can get started. All right. I have to share a few important things with you today. So this session which we are planning today has multiple things, multiple important things. Number one, this is the last lesson of our chapter. Second, we have a quiz also. Third, I'm also going to share the schedule of my lectures on other channels, because on all different channels I'm going to start different chapters so that simultaneously multiple things will be covered. And from today itself my special class is also starting, so if you have not installed the app, you need to do that. So let us go over the basic things first, and then we will talk about the topic. Now this is the sheet this is my schedule sheet basically, which is planned for the forthcoming lectures. This is going to be on the same channel where we are right now. So after we complete today's lesson, that is the chapter will be over, we will be starting from plant physiology. And I have seen that I don't know for what reason students find plant physiology like photosynthesis and cellular respiration and all these things difficult, and that is why I thought of taking one chapter of plant physiology. So we are going to be starting with photosynthesis. So this is the schedule which I have given to you, and we are having one class every day. So 16th, 17th, then 18th is Sunday, so I'm going to skip that. Then 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd and 23rd. So I've given you heads up for the next few classes so that you don't miss out on those classes. This is on the channel where we are right now. And as I said, I'm planning to have classes on the other channels also. This is the other channel, that is Let's Crack NEET UG. Here the lectures are going to be Hindi-English mix. This is for the students who are not 100% comfortable with pure English. So here, after the cells division is over, I'll start with human physiology. And in human physiology, I have just given you rather heads up for two lectures. That is, we will be talking about human heart, and we'll see the working of human heart, because this is one very important point or subtopic. This is the third channel, that is Biology 101. And on this, I'm I'm starting human physiology. So now you've seen there is a different sort of spread. On NEET UG English, it's going to be plant physiology. On Biology 101, it's going to be human physiology. And on NEET UG, it's going to be a short topic, and then I'll plan for the further lectures. So here also the schedule is given. We have one lecture today on Biology 101, and that is going to be 12:30 to 1:30. So right now 11 o'clock to 12, I'm going to have a lecture or a class with you, and then after half an hour, that is starting 12:30 today itself, there is going to be a class on Biology 101, and here we are starting with digestion and absorption, and this is the schedule which I have designed. So pretty much alternate days in the beginning, it's 14, 16, 19, 21st, and from 23rd every day we are going to have a class. So 24th, then 25th is Sunday, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th and 30th. So in this we have completed, and towards the end of every chapter we will be having a quiz. This is going to help us assess the understanding part. But while we are taking the chapter, there can be, short practice questions or couple of questions which I'll be giving you. So this is one thing which I wanted to share with you. Right now we are on Let's Crack NEET UG English, and here we have all the lectures in pure English, and I have told you about myself, so let us not go over it again and again. Very soon I'm going to be starting these special classes, like from today itself. My special class is going to be, first special class is going to be today at 2 p.m. 2 in the afternoon. Okay, so if you have not installed this app, because that's where you are going to need this, so install this app so that you're able to attend that lesson also. And for your information, on the special class I'm going to start with genetics, principles of inheritance, and we will be starting with the basics. Now when you come to the app, you will get all the advantage like live sessions of various teachers and all those things. And this is one thing which I have told you almost in every lecture, that you need to go for the subscription as soon as possible, because the figures which you're seeing here, they are going to change. There is going to be an increase in this fee structure, so sooner the better. And if you use my code like Neela or SP Neela, that is for the special class, then you will be able to get 10% of discount. Okay, so I have shared many things with you. Remember all those things and plan your day accordingly, so that you are able to cover many topics from human physiology, plant physiology, genetics, everything. So that would help you complete your syllabus in a shorter period of time. Alright, let us come back to the topic that we were talking about. We talked of cell division, meiosis, mitosis, amitosis, cell cycle, everything in detail. And as I said, we are on the last part. So in the last part, there are 3 things which I have planned. One is like this basic difference between meiosis, mitosis, which we have to talk of. Then we will take up few doubts if you have, and then we will come to quiz. And at the end, again, I'll tell you some important points which you have to remember whenever you're talking about this particular chapter. So let us briefly discuss the differences between mitosis and meiosis. We have studied all the stages in detail. Mitosis takes place in somatic cells. Somatic cells are nothing but vegetative cells. You call them somatic cells. In plants, normally we call them vegetative cells. So in an organism, if you're talking about higher organism, there are 2 types of cells: vegetative cells and germinal cells, or somatic cells and germinal cells. So mitosis takes place in somatic cells, or somatic cells, if they have to divide, they will divide only by mitotic division. Whereas Meiosis takes place in germ cells, and these germ cells normally are present in the germinal epithelium, which is present in the sex organs. Germinal epithelium of sex organs. So that's where the cells are, and these germ cells, they are the ones which are capable of dividing by meiotic division. Mitosis is known as equational division, meiosis is called reductional division. We now know this. Why is mitosis called equational? Because the daughter cells have the same number of chromosomes as that of the parent cell. And why is meiosis called reduction? Because the daughter cells have half the number of chromosomes as that of the parent cells. In case of mitosis, only 2 daughter cells are formed, whereas in case of meiosis, there are 4 daughter cells formed. So here we said one cell undergoes meiosis 1, we have 2 daughter cells. These 2 undergo meiosis 2, and we have 4 daughter cells. Whereas in case of mitosis, it is just one step. So this is how the number of daughter cells is different. The daughter cells which are formed as a result of mitosis have the same number of chromosomes as that of the parent cell, and this is the reason we call them, or this division, as equational division. In case of meiotic, or the daughter cells which are formed by meiosis, they have half the number of chromosomes, and that is why the division is known as reductional division. In case of mitosis, there is no crossing over, no genetic material exchange, whereas meiosis, the significance of meiosis is that it helps in crossing over, exchange of genetic material, or genetic recombination. DNA replication and cell division, both are only once. DNA replicates in S phase of interphase, and then there is only one division. So one division is visible here. So DNA replicates in S and cell divides only once. Whereas in meiosis, DNA replicates only once in S phase, but the cell divides 2 times. One is in meiosis 1 and then in meiosis 2. In case of mitosis, there is no interkinesis. Interkinesis is a short preparatory phase which is between meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. That means this interkinesis is between meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Okay, so this is the difference between the 2 main types of divisions that we have talked of. Alright, so now I have completed the chapter, the last part of this chapter, and now I am ready for your questions. In case if you have any doubt on this particular part, that is cell cycle and cell division, then we can take this up. Human health and diseases, we will start this chapter also. So I am going step by step. Okay, I am waiting for your doubts in case if you have. So start sending, start asking. I'll give you a couple of minutes. And if there is no doubt, then we can immediately switch to our questions which I have planned for you. Okay, Ayush is asking G0 phase. G0 phase is when a cell divides and then it has to get differentiated. If a cell has to get differentiated, then it comes into G0 phase. And obviously after G0, it's not going to divide. Okay? G0 comes after which? It is after G1. See, this is our cell cycle. This is M phase, G1, S and G2. If a cell starts to divide, it goes into G1, prepares for S. In S, DNA replication takes place in that cell. In G2 it prepares for the division, and after M you have these two daughter cells. Okay, this part is clear. So now let us take these cells which are newly formed, the two daughter cells. Now suppose these two daughter cells, they do not have to divide anymore. If it was given in their genetic makeup that they have to divide only once. They are tiny cells. Daughter cells are going to be smaller than the parent cell. So these two, they come into G1, they grow to their normal size, and then they come into this G0 phase. So these two daughter cells have grown, but for growth they entered G1 phase. This entire, from this point to this point is G1, and this smaller part which we have drawn in the middle of G1 is the G0 or G0 phase. So which G0 comes after G1, because the cells have to grow to their normal size. So I hope Ayush you got your doubt cleared here, right? The G0 cell can again come into G1. Yes, we talked about it. There are some cells like parenchyma cells. They can come back into G1 because in plants parenchyma becomes meristematic during secondary growth. So when we come to that anatomy of flowering plants, we will talk about it, but yes. And if you have attended all the earlier lectures, I did mention that there are few cells which are capable of coming back into the cell cycle. Why, Ayush is asking why they do not exit after M phase. See, as I told, after M the cell has divided and two daughter cells have formed, and these are tiny cells. To become functional, they have to attain their normal size, and the functional capacity is maximum when the nuclear cytoplasmic ratio, the size, everything is normal. Tiny cells are not going to be able to work with that efficiency. Okay, so there were only a couple of questions, one from Ankita, Ayush, I guess. No more questions? So, are you ready to answer the questions on the quiz? Ayush says, understood. I am happy. Number of chromosomes in a bivalent. See, if you have attended the class, we made these kind of diagrams. This is one pair of homologous chromosomes, and this is what is called a bivalent. Now when each chromosome divides and you start seeing the sister chromatid, one chromosome after splitting, when it shows sister chromatid, that is called a dyad. So this is a dyad. This is another dyad. And this complete will be called the tetrad. So this is a bivalent. So in bivalent we have two chromosomes. Okay, so it is yes from everybody for the quiz. So what I'm going to do is, I'll bring the question for you. I'll give you some time. You answer, send me the answers, and we will solve it in case if some of you get it wrong. But I'm confident that most of you will be able to solve those questions. So here is your first question. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. It's a match the column kind of a question. Karthik says B. Ayush says D, Ankita has B, B, B maximum. Most of you are giving the answer as B. Ayush is asking me, is the answer D? I'm going to give you the answer towards the end. Wait, let everybody answer it. All of you have to at least attempt. At the most, what's going to happen? You will reach to a wrong answer. But when we try this during the class, during our preparation time, it is better to commit mistakes so that we are able to correct them. Okay, so I got two answers here for this question. One answer is D and other answer is B. These are the two answers which I have. And Sajjan Avinash is writing the same thing. Please explain on the board, ma'am. See, the only difference is here you are able to see me. Only thing is I am visible in a smaller window. But I try to explain using the gestures and everything, but very soon we will switch to the smart board also. But till that time, let us see this. Okay? Some of you have reached to option D and some of you have reached to option A. Let us first assess our question. The question is we have to match things which are given in column A or 1 and column 2. In column 2 there are the stages given. The first is synapsis, that is alignment of homologous chromosomes. This takes place in zygote because that is the meaning of the word zygo. When one chromosome from mother, one chromosome from father, that is homologous pair, it aligns. So that is synapse. So 1 we have got. So in 3 we have the first option A as 2. Okay. Synthesis of RNA and protein. It takes place in G1 and G2 both. Here in the second column G1 is not given, so we have to take G2. Now this is overruled, this anyways is overruled because here we have 2 and here we have 3. Okay, let us come to action of enzyme recombinase. Where does the reaction or this recombinase reaction required? It starts in pectine and is completed in diplotin. So I think this sounds like a more appropriate answer to me. And then let us come to the last option also. We need to check all. Centromere do not separate, but the chromatids move towards the opposite pole. This is the most important statement which we have to cross check. What does this mean? It means that the chromosomes, they have aligned on the equatorial plane and one chromosome moves towards one pole and the other moves towards the opposite pole. That means there is no splitting of centromere. Splitting of centromere takes place in anaphase of mitosis and anaphase 2 of meiosis 2, which is similar to mitotic division. So in anaphase 1, homologous chromosomes, they separate, so there is no splitting of centromere. So this is correct. So this is the correct answer. So out of all, I think D answer was given only by Ayush. All of you gave the answer as B. What was the reason? What was the confusing thing? In this is 5. Oh, see, D cannot be 5. D is centromere do not, whether the centromere splits or not, when the chromosomes are moving apart, it has to be anaphase, be it anaphase 1 or 2. Okay, so Ayush is happy, very good. Now let us come to the second question, and that is why complete the question before you jump at the answer. Okay, the next one. See, this question had appeared in AIPMT. Earlier NEET was called AIPMT. This was in 2012. and this was a diagram based question. So now let us see. Read the question carefully. It's a very easy question. It's a direct question, very simple. A, Karthik says A. A diagram is shown. Dr. Vikas Sahu says A. Surekha says A. Sajjan says C. Should not take that long. I guess others are waiting for the correct answer from me. See, what is visible here? Homologous chromosomes are visible. This is a homologous pair, and we are seeing a cross. That means here there is exchange of genetic material. And we know exchange of genetic material takes place one in meiosis. And in meiosis, it is in meiosis 1, not in meiosis 2. So here, the answer is obvious. It is prophase 1 during meiosis. Who said C? Sajjan, this is mitosis, and in mitosis there is no exchange of genetic material. There is no crossing over. The first part that we did in this lecture or today's class was the difference between mitosis and meiosis. Okay, so this was, according to me, was a very simple question, and I'm glad all of you got correct. Sajjan also understood? Good. Okay, next question. This also appeared in NEET 2013, and this is also a diagram based question. Okay, start answering for this. This is the third question. The diagrams are the same diagrams which are from our NCERT. You have to just assess, look at the diagram and see which statement explains the diagram correctly. Okay, Divya Kumari says C, Dream Cracker A, Satya Mishra is B, Subramaniam is A, Dr. Vikas Sahu is A, Sajjan is B, Ayush B, Vinita is B. Okay, look at the diagram. First of all, let us identify the stage. Is it prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase? Which stage is it? So one thing is clear, that this is metaphase, because all the chromosomes, they are aligned at the equatorial plane. Okay, so I guess we have overruled these two anyways. Now that option A and B are the only options which are talking about metaphase. Now let us read the statements. In option A, it says metaphase, which is correct, but spindle fibers attached to kinetochore, which is correct. The spindle fibers are attached here to the kinetochore. Very good. Centromere splits. This splitting takes place when the chromosomal spindle fibers contract. So this is in anaphase, not in metaphase. Then only the chromatids will separate. Let us come, so this is also wrong. Before we say yes for the option B, we need to check whether the statement is correct or not. So this part is correct, metaphase. Chromosomes move to spindle equator because this is the spindle and this is the equatorial plane. So it moves to the spindle equator. Chromosomes made up of two sister chromatids. Perfect. So this is our chromosome and this chromosome has two sister chromatids. See, this is the chromosome. These are two sister chromatids and the fibers are attached like this. So this is our correct answer. So most of you have given the correct answer as B. Centromeres do not split in metaphase. That's right. That's what we have written. This happens in anaphase. Okay, so I guess most of you gave the answer as B, so that's very good. Let us move to the next question, that is our fourth question. Again a diagram based question. Start answering. Figure A and B, both the figures are from our NCERT. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, no answers yet. Two images, two figures are to be identified. Surekha says C, Ayush says C, Karthik also says C, Dr. Vikas Sahu C, Dream Cracker C, Sajjan is B, Sajjan Avinash has given the answer as B. Subramanian has C, Ankita has C. So far we got answers B and C. Ayush also has C. So except for Sajjan Avinash, everybody has given C. See, in the first figure, the chromosomes, they have moved towards the pole. Okay, and these fibers which have appeared are actually the interzonal fibers, and this happens in anaphase, and the chromosomes have moved towards very close to the pole, so it is going to be towards the late anaphase, because what we said was, suppose these are the spindle fibers and here are the chromosomes. So in early anaphase, the chromosomes are going to be close to each other, and towards the end they will be closer to the poles. So this has to be late anaphase. It cannot be metaphase. And who gave the answer B? Sajjan. B answers in telophase, nuclear membrane reassembles. So it is reverse of prophase. So if you see nuclear membrane reassemble, then only it can be telophase. And this is prophase because the nuclear membrane is still visible. The two centrioles which have undergone splitting in S phase, now they are moving to the opposite pole, so that all those changes happen in prophase, early prophase, because nuclear membrane is still here. So our answer is C. Almost everyone got C except for one. Sajjan, you need to just revise everything. Okay, this is the next question, the fifth question. Read the statements and start answering. Nitin says बहुत ही कम watching. Maybe they are not aware that we have the class here. If you want, you can share it with your friends and let them know that this is what is happening here. Dr. Vikas is saying, ma'am, will you cover entire syllabus like this in YouTube for free, or we need to join Plus to learn entire bio from you, ma'am? See, what happens is, it is a divided thing. A few lectures I take on the free YouTube portal, then there are some on the Plus. I'm going to be starting Plus very soon. Only thing is, in Plus, it's a very systematic arrangement of the lectures. There is a proper distribution of hours, and on a daily basis we are able to interact like what we are doing today. This is possible in free YouTube lectures only towards the end, like once we complete. But if you are with me on Plus, then it's going to be like a live interaction with almost all the students who are there, almost on a daily basis. So your doubts would be cleared even for a shorter part. Like if we study only, say, cell cycle, so those doubts on cell cycle will be taken on that day itself. So it is always better. So, and that is why I'm saying that if you want, you can go for the subscription with my code to avail that discount, and definitely we will be covering the entire syllabus. But I'm sure it is going to be in a more structured manner with more interaction with the students when it is on Plus. Because when you take the lectures on app, there are so many features which you would be able to use. Like there is a poll feature and quizzes and interactive sessions, so that helps. Okay, let us come back to our fifth question, and the fifth question says, crossing over takes place between which chromatids and in which stage? So which chromatids means, I guess the option should be homologous chromosome, sister and non-sister chromatids, right? So I'll answer, Satya, your question in a minute. Let us first go over the question which we have here. Okay, so crossing over. Let me draw the diagram. This is the homologous pair. These are sister chromatids. These are sister chromatids. And if you talk about these, they are sister chromatids, and these two chromosomes, they are of the homologous pair. So which option is looking correct? Non-sister chromatids of non-homologous, not right. Non-sister chromatids of homologous, so far correct. In pectine and diplotin. In pectine, that cross-like thing becomes visible, but actual exchange or crossing over takes place in diplotin. So this is the correct answer. Okay, B for question 5, correct. Ayush, Ankita, Surekha, Dream Cracker. Satya has given A answer. A is not possible because it is between non-homologous chromosomes. First of all, the chromosomes have to pair, which is called synapses, and this pairing takes place between the homologous chromosomes. Okay. There are questions. Ma'am, आप botany complete करवाएंगी ना? Yes, I will complete it, but as I told you, on the free portals it is different. It may not happen like in a complete structured manner, but yes, on the special classes and the plus classes, yes, for sure. Ayush it says B for question 5, correct. Will you cover whole bio? Okay. Satya says, ma'am, botany complete करवाएंगे, बिल्कुल करवाएंगे, but structured way में अगर करना है, so it's going to be on NEET plus. All right, I'm giving you one more question. This is question number 6, and as you can see, this question also appeared in AIPMT, and I told you NEET was earlier called AIPMT. So this question appeared there. Ayush, ma'am, you are the HC Verma of biology. Thank you so much. I hope the way I teach and how I teach helps you and you're able to crack NEET, which is our main focus. Okay, for this question, Surekha has answered as option B, correct. Let us see. According to her, option B is correct. Ayush also says B, Satya says A, Dream Cracker says B, Surekha says B. B. Okay, sorry. I was reading something wrong. Manu has given the answer as B. Again, there is a schematic representation given of the cell cycle. And A, B, C and D alphabets are written there on that schematic representation. And we have to see whether in the option the correct match is given or not. Okay, what we'll do is, we will write down in the schematic diagram itself what is A, B, C and D, and then we will match with the option. What is A? This is the division part. So this has to be prophase, this is metaphase, this is anaphase, this is telophase, and A should be karyokinesis, because here the nucleus is going to divide. B, I have written, should be anaphase. And what happens after karyokinesis? That is cytokinesis. So C should be cytokinesis. And if this is the division phase, this is going to be G1. Sorry, this is G2, this is G1, and this is going to be the S phase. So now, is C cytokinesis? No, it is given as karyokinesis. D, S phase, this is correct, but we will check the other options also. Is A given as cytokinesis? No, A is karyokinesis. And is B metaphase? No, B is anaphase. So the diagram, the complete process we have studied. Now the representation is a slightly different one. All right, one more question. The 7th question, it appeared in NEET 2017. Now let us start answering this question. This is question number 7. There are some events given. You have to pick the correct sequence. In which sequence the events during mitosis, this is important because here we are talking about a particular division. In mitosis, there are events which are taking place, and which option gives us the correct sequence of these events. Read them carefully because there are minor differences. Ayush says A. Okay, we'll check. A for question number 7. Ankita says C. Dr. Vikas Sahu says A. Surekha says A. Such type of questions are very common in competitive exams like NEET. Birappa says A. Manu says A. Okay. So most of you have given the answer as A except for Ankita who says C. Let us see. See what happens in mitosis if we have to recap the process. the nuclear membrane dissociates, but before that condensation starts of the chromatin fiber, because dissociation is going to start in early prophase and will get completed in late prophase. So the first is condensation in all 4 options, so that is easier for us. Then the nuclear membrane dissociates, then the chromosomes get arranged on the equatorial plane, and then the centromere is going to split, then they separate. So I guess first is the correct. Condensation, nuclear membrane dissociates, chromosomes arranged on the equatorial plane, then centromere splits, because in anaphase the spindle fibers are going to pull the chromosomes, then the sister chromatids segregate or separate, and then the new nuclear membrane will assemble. So Ankita, just go over all the stages one more time. C, why did you choose C? You chose C. Condensation is okay. Arrangement at equator. Centromere, okay, because here there is one additional change which is taking place, and that is dissociation of the nuclear membrane, because everything, all other options are same except for this, and this is a very important event which takes place during mitotic division. One more question. Now this is interesting. I like this question very much. Let us see how many of you attempt this one right. This is question number 8. There are certain events given. You have to arrange them in the proper order. The orders have already been given in the option. You have to choose the one which is the most appropriate. Okay, we have a new student, Jaskaran. Jaskaran, I guess you have attended the earlier session part of the session also, because we did 7 questions before that. It is, Ayush says 4213. Okay, so according to Ayush, I guess there is no correct option here. So the options which we have received correct answers, rather, the option that you have given is, Jaskaran says D, Ayush says it should be 4213. Let us see. In that case, we'll have to design one more option. Manu says D, Birappa says A, okay, others have not answered yet. This is a very, very, very important question. And that's why I said I like this question very much. It is actually the real test, whether you have understood this or not. Options were not clearly visible. Is it better now? Surekha says C. Ayush has changed the option to D. The trick or the clue is here. We are talking of meiosis. I have a message from Ilakia. I think I'm reading it right. Ma'am, today only I joined, let me know the next chapter so that I would be prepared. Okay, what I'm going to do is, before we end this session, I'm going to show you my schedule sheet for every channel so that you can plan accordingly, okay? Dr. Vikas Sahu, this is my first class. Oh, you have already written Dr. Vikas Sahu, so I have a confusion. Why is Dr. Vikas Sahu preparing for a pre-medical exam? All right, let us come back to the options. This is meiosis, and in meiosis, when we talk of meiosis, we have meiosis 1. In meiosis 1, there is prophase 1. In prophase 1, we have leptotene, then zygotene, then pecitine, the next is diplotene, dikinesis. Okay, so now there is crossing over, there is synapses, there is terminalization and disappearance of nucleolus. So the first confusion which was, that is prophase, nuclear membrane dissociates and nucleolus dissociates, that's right. But in meiosis, before nuclear membrane and nucleolus dissociate, there are changes which are taking place. Like, what happens is, there is pairing of homologous chromosomes. See, in leptotene, condensation starts. In zygotene, there is pairing of homologous chromosomes, which is called synapses. So the first step is synapses. And after synapses, what happens is crossing over. So there will be this pairing. Then in the next stage, there will be crossing over. So according to me, this should be 1, this should be 2, then terminalization, which is going to get start here and completed here, and then all those changes which take place in prophase, like dissociation of nuclear membrane and nucleolus, will take place. So it should be synapses, crossing over, terminalization, and this should be the correct answer. Okay, so what was the confusion? The confusion, I guess, was this, because whenever we talk of cell division, the first thing that comes to head is prophase, and in prophase, nuclear membrane, nucleolus all dissociate. So that is why you probably thought that nucleus dissociation should come first, but as I said, the clue is in the type of division that we are talking of. Okay, so that is why I said that this type of questions are like the real test of our understanding. One more, and this is going to be the last. This appeared in, again, NEET 2014. Straight question, again very easy. The 9th question, the last question for our today's lecture, or that short quiz type thing which I had planned. Enzyme recombinase is required at which stage of meiosis? Pecitine, zygotene, diplotene, and dikinesis. Ayush says pecitine, Birappa says A, Manu also says A, Manvendra says A, Surekha says A, Ankita says A. All of you say A. Okay, For this, there is a little variation. Have you read what is given in our NCERT? There is one page where meiotic division is explained. And in that meiotic division, or especially the prophase 1, in NCERT, they have talked about all these stages. So, what I am going to do is, I am going to leave this question as your homework question, because the answer, right now most of you have given pectine. We have to tick the answer or pick the answer according to our NCERT. So you will have to choose between these two, and that you will do after you read that paragraph from your NCERT. So as I told you when we were talking about these stages, that the process begins in one stage and gets completed in the other stage, because there is no clear-cut demarcation. And that is why I want you to read the NCERT paragraph or for meiosis, and then we will be deciding out of these two. Okay? So this is the question. The answer is either A or C, but we will go by the statement which is written in NCERT. And then we can conclude that the correct answer should be A or C. Alright, so I am giving you that schedule because this is what most of you are asking. So this chapter is over, cell cycle and cell division, and before we end the session, let me just take you to that original first sheet which I showed you about my schedule, so that the students who joined little late, they would be able to check that sheet. See, this is on another channel. Right now the channel which we are on is Let's Crack NEET UG English. Here all the lectures are going to be in pure English. Okay, this is for the students who are very comfortable in pure English. Now I am going to start my classes on another channel, and that is Biology 101, and I'm going to start from today itself. Today is 14th and the timing is 12:30 to 1:30, and I'm starting with human physiology. So on this channel, that is Let's Crack NEET UG, we are going to have a different thing. This is for Biology 101. This channel is Let's Crack NEET UG. This is where the lectures are in Hindi English mix. This is for the students who are more comfortable in mixed, because they want little explanation in Hindi. After I finish this cell cycle, cell division on that channel, I'm going to start with human physiology. Small topic, that is human heart, its structure and functioning. And this is our channel, that is right now where we are. This is Let's Crack NEET UG English. This is where we are right now. Today is 14th and we have completed this cell cycle and cell division completely. The quiz and everything is over now. So from tomorrow, I'm going to start plant physiology, because I find that invariably students find botany part little difficult, and that is why I have done that. So I have started human physiology on one, plant physiology on the other, and from today itself, I'm going to start my special class, and for that special class you would obviously need the app. So on this special class, I'm starting with genetics. And today is going to be an important session because, and don't forget to install this app, because if you have to attend the special class, you would need this app. And if you go for a subscription, don't forget to use the code so that you get the benefit of 10% discount. Okay, so the special class which is at 2 o'clock, we will be starting with genetics part. Now coming to the last thing which I wanted to give you the information of, what are those points which you have to remember in cell cycle and cell division? The first is C value. Very important. Questions are invariably asked on this. Then revise G0 phase. What all happens in G0 phase? This is again very important. How the chromosome number and C value change in cell cycle. Very important. Prophase 1, all 5 subphases. Difference between mitosis and meiosis. Especially the point where number of times DNA replicates and number of times the cell divides, right? This you have to revise till everything is clear. In the earlier lectures when we were talking about C value, we did few questions, practice questions on C value also. So keep practicing such type of questions so that you don't miss out, you don't forget the basic thing. But once you understand the concept, these things will be very easy for you. So this is just the thing that you have to remember, these important points when we talk of cell cycle and cell division. Okay, so the basic thing, hit the bell icon so that you get the notification, don't forget to subscribe and use the code if you want to avail that 10% discount. And subscribe, install the app, subscribe as early as possible so that you are able to get all the lectures which I am planning. Okay, so this is for today, and tomorrow we're going to meet again, same time, 11 o'clock, with the new topic. So I hope to see you again tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.